Yo, I finally got that doggone immigration card, man. These jokers finally gave me this doggone thing. I got it, boy. I had to go up here 3 times, but finally got it. Standing up over there in that line, that's the immigration over there. Man, I've been coming out here early in the morning, waiting a couple of days, and finally my attorney was like, I'm gonna go stand in line for you. I'll call you when I'm on the inside. Man, this young lady been a blessing. She's been wonderful. I mean, I'm gonna be interviewing her. Man, y'all gotta get with this lady. She made it happen, man. When it looked like it wasn't gonna happen, she made it happen. Oh man, you just don't know how ecstatic I am. I finally got this doggone residency card. 4 years. 4 years. I'm gonna cover this stuff up, make sure I ain't revealing any personal information, but I got my residency card, man. It's for 4 years. Apparently, traditionally, when you go through the Mexican consulate in the United States to go through the residency process, they generally only give you 1 year, a 1 year temporary residency, and then after that 1 year, you can renew for another year, 2 years, 3 years. And then after 4 years, you can apply for permanent. Well, with this special program where I got this particular residency card, they gave me 4 years off the bat. I don't have to worry about this at all for 4 years. And at the end of my 4 years, I'll roll right over into permanent. The other unique thing about this particular visa, residency, temporary residency, no income verification requirements, no employment verification, none of that. I didn't have to show any bank statements. I didn't have to show any proof that I was working. And the whole process took, well, once I got inside the office, I sat in line for 20 minutes inside the immigration office, waited for them to call my number, and I called my number, went to the desk, and took another 20-25 minutes, and they took my fingerprints, took my photograph, and gave me the card in my hand. 25 minutes later, I was out the door with this card. Man, I've been waiting on this thing for a while. I was nervous. I didn't think I was going to get it. In the back of my mind, I was in jail for 2 days in Mexico. I thought that might hurt me. I had been up to immigration a couple of times, and each time they kept saying, come back Monday, come back Friday, come back Wednesday. So finally, on this 3rd time, my attorney, she went up there, did some more paperwork, brought in some more paperwork, and took me back. Well, she went and waited in line, had her assistant wait in line, and then when it was my turn, then they called me, and I took my Uber, went to immigration, and then I didn't have to stand outside that last day. I went straight in the building, waited for 20 minutes, and then went to the desk. 20-25 minutes later, I walk out with my card. So what is this program? Let me tell you briefly about this thing here. So it's called the regularization program here in Mexico. So basically, it's like an amnesty program. In order to qualify, you had to have received 180 days FMM card. So when you come in, they stamp that little green, white, and red piece of paper with 180 days. If you got less than 180 days, you ain't gonna qualify. That's one of the requirements. You had to be issued 180 days. And that 180, you had to have overstayed your 180 days, essentially making you illegal. So the regularization program is like an amnesty program, where you're able to get temporary residency under this amnesty program for people that are in the country illegally. Why they do that, I don't know. I just listen to the attorneys who advise me on how to get my thing. So, and the other requirement is, now this depends on which immigration office you're at. All these offices have different rules. In order to qualify for this amnesty program, you had to have 1 or 2 entries, depending on which immigration office you're dealing with. 1 or 2 entries between 2015 to 2021, and your visa had to have expired in that time frame. So I guess even in 2022, but it can't have expired in 2023. So in my case, I came in March or April 2021. I went back and got my kids. I came back in June 2021 as well, so that qualified me. When my visas expired, then I ended up going to Campeche and I got an extension. So extensions don't count towards this. These have to be complete separate entries into the country. So I went and got an extension, and my 6-month extension then expired again in August. So I talked to an attorney. She was like, hey, Cartess, you might qualify for this regularization program, but you're gonna have to wait till January to see. So instead of, she's like, Cartess, I'm not advising you to do this. I'm just saying giving you some options. If you just lay low, stay out of tourist areas, don't get on those buses like our Ado bus, tourist buses traveling around where you might get stopped by immigration checkpoints. Say just lay low. Since your stuff is expired, if you can make it to January and you qualify for this program, you're gonna get a 4-year temporary visa, and you won't have to worry about it. And at the end of those 4 years, you automatically roll into permanent. No more qualifications for that either. So I was like, all right, well, I can do that. I'll take the chance. I have a high risk for tolerance, so I was like, I can do that. Worst case scenario, if I get caught, they'll throw me out, or if might ban me out of the country, and I figured there's a whole bunch of other places I can go live. So for me, this was a risk worth taking. I didn't have to fly back to the States. I didn't have to do all that paperwork and fly, and plus I didn't have a lot of proof and paper trail to show the requirements to get approved for temporary residency the traditional way. And so with this route, again, I don't have to worry about renewing a year. I don't get 1 year like everybody else. I got 4 right off the bat. No income, no employment verifications or anything like that. So if you've come into the country between 2015, 2021, you got at least 180 days and your visa is currently expired, get up in that immigration office and go ahead and get that done. Now, prior to doing this, I talked to multiple attorneys and multiple people saying that they can help me. And all of them wanted 10,000 to 15,000 pesos per person just to do the paperwork. The lady that helped me out, oh my God, who was recommended by a friend of mine, she was a godsend. She charged like 3,000, 4,000 pesos, which is 150, 200 US dollars to do the paperwork. All the other attorneys, 10,000 to 15,000 pesos, that's like 500 to 750 dollars US per person, and in my case, it's 4 of us. So that's like no. But when she did my paperwork, because we're going to be going back and we're going to be enrolling the rest of the family under my visa, because they didn't qualify for regularization, but they can qualify and roll up under my visa under the family unit program. So they'll be able to roll them up under mine. But yeah, they wanted all that money, but this young lady was like, no. Which is why I say, if you're gonna work with some of these folks, man, work with the local folks that tend not to work with a lot of expats. I know that sounds crazy because most of the immigration attorneys work with foreigners. You know what I mean? But you got these attorneys that all these expats tend to pass around. And so they know they can charge a whole lot more money. And so $750 versus $150 to $200 per person, that makes a difference. So if you are inside of our membership group, I'm going to include her contact details in the members only area. She charges a consultation fee. I think it's like 1,200 pesos, which is like $60 US. she'll basically tell you to send over a picture of your passport where you got the stamps on it, and literally what she does, she just goes straight up to the immigration office and find out what you qualify for. Just straight up, that's what she do. She'll ask you some other questions about how many times you've been here, how long you've been expired, and a whole bunch of other questions just to kind of figure out where you are to see if you even qualify. So she's good folks. She will find a way to get you worked out if they're the way. If they're the way to get your issue resolved, she will find it. So our membership site, moveabroadandthrive.com. I mentioned this before as well. If you made any type of donation over the last 18 months, you get access to this new membership social networking site for free for life. It's my way of saying thank you for your contributions and your donations over the last 18 months as we started to build this channel. And as to some of the challenges we had over the last 18 months, I appreciate it. So I'm giving you all free access. I'm going to start making much of my content and posting it there. I finally got all the bugs worked out, 95% of it. I had to move to a new dedicated server, so that resolved many of my issues. Payment processor is now working again. But if you made any type of donation, you get free access. If you don't have, just send the email. I got a virtual assistant that checks the email. Email me your proof of donation or contribution. Email it to support@moveabroadandthrive.com. That's support@moveabroadandthrive.com. I got the information in the description below. I plan to be going out of beta status by Wednesday. We'll be functioning normally. So if you have not yet made a donation, I'd encourage you to do that right this minute, because when we come out of beta, you will have to pay to access our members only content, and you will have to pay a monthly fee. So go ahead, make a donation. I got the details on the screen and the details below the video. Cash App, Cartess, $Cartess Ross. Zelle, which is my email, cartess@cartessross.com. And then if you've already made a donation and you didn't get your login details, it's because you didn't send an email to support@moveabroadandthrive.com, or you can email help@moveabroadandthrive.com, and my virtual assistant will get you added, send you your login details so you can access the program. I'm just looking at the screen. A couple of folks have signed up. They're activating their account and posting their profiles and creating groups. And once you're in the site, you can create groups. So if you live in a different country, please go in here, create a group about the country that you're in, and share some content, share videos, share photos, share information about the country. My goal here is to make this a hub for other people to access information about life abroad and get real-time feedback from people actively on the ground in those countries. There's life outside of our home country, in this case here, the United States, and I just want to highlight that. This is a brand new site, brand new platform. I got an 18-month, 24-month plan to grow this thing out. So it's still in its infancy. You're going to be at the beginning as you watch this thing start to grow and build and metamorphosis. I'm trying to say something else. But I'm excited about this. So if you haven't made a donation yet, do that now so you get locked in for this free membership access to this site for life. We'll be doing monthly live trainings and interviews. You'll be able to ask questions. Whatever questions you have, you'll be able to post it here inside the site as well and get some answers from myself and other people as well. So much cheaper than a consultation. Put all your stuff here, and that's that. So if you haven't gotten your visa, or if you're here illegally, reach out to immigration, find out what your options are, you might very well qualify for this. If you call an immigration office and they say they don't have that program, get on the phone and call another immigration office, because again, there's nothing consistent about the immigration offices anywhere in Mexico. What ain't happening in one town is happening and is in full motion in the next town over. So so look into that. As of now, as of this recording, I just got this 4-year visa a week ago. So it's in motion. So there's no word on how long this is going to last. They say it's temporary. So this is your loophole to get this done. Remember, entry into Mexico, 1 or 2 entries. Nobody really knows the answer. Between 2015 and 2021, your visa must be your FMM card must be expired, just not expired in 2023. So if you're sitting on an expired visa from 2022 or 2021 or 2020, because there are folks here who've been living here legally for the last 1, 2, 3 years. So if you've expired, get in that office. They're not going to take you, they're not going to hunt you down and lock you up over there, because I've been in there a couple of times, showed them my expired stuff. This is a program, they want you to come into immigration and do this. So go find out if you qualify. This whole thing cost me about $800 to get this done, and I had to pay a fine for overstaying my visa, and because I paid a little more because I was like 6 months, 5-6 months over my expiration date, so I had to pay a fine. Then I had to pay a fee for the regularization fee, and then I paid for those 4 years. So move abroad and thrive. There's a donate link in the description below the video. Go to the website, moveabroadandthrive.com. You'll see the donate link on the menu. If you're on a mobile device, you'll see the little hamburger menu in the top left screen, I believe. Click that, the menu open up, click the donate link, and you'll see the different options there. Thank you for watching.